Howdy, guys. I'm Kevin the Comic Doctor, and I'm a comic book presser located in Oshawa, Ontario, Canada. And you're watching just another impromptu video just for fun because I want to talk a little bit more about that collection I picked up, that 3-box collection I picked up a week and a half ago. And I also want to talk a little bit about these. I have a problem, guys. I have a problem. I picked up another batch of books. I don't know what's going on. I guess when it rains, it pours. I have no time. I have really no time to even be looking at comic books to buy because I'll never get to these darn books. So the likelihood is a lot of these will probably be sold off, raw. I might press them if I have time or do a quick press or whatever, or just sell them as is. Anyways. First, I wanted to talk a little bit about that 3-box collection that I picked up a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And if you watched my last live video, there were lots of people commenting on the quality of the books. And, oh, Kevin, I don't know. And, there wasn't a lot of excitement there. There was a lot of filler in there. And I think I might have been a little too hard on that collection. Because I'll tell you, go back and watch the video. The thumbnail is exactly the same as the thumbnail for this video. It's the very last video I did. But what's cool about it is I go through the books, check them out, and see what you think. But there were a handful of nice books in there. And I mentioned at the end of the video how much I paid for that collection. I'm going to tell you, I paid more than $700, and I paid more than $1,200, or less than $1,200. So more than $7, less than $12. I never like to say exactly how much I paid, but you get the idea. It's north of 7, though. Okay, it's north of 8, actually. But I'll tell you this much. If you watch my live auction, my live claim sale on Friday, and by the way, thanks to all of you that dropped by to say hi on my Instagram claim sale on Friday. It was a lot of fun. Myself, Tony, Roy, and Steve had a lot of fun. And thanks to all those that popped by. But I did, for shits and giggles, I put up that Ghost Rider 1 to 7 from 1967 to kind of see what kind of price I would have got for them. And I ended up selling those books alone, that little set of 7 books, for $475 Canadian. Now, what really stinks is as soon as I said sold, another person bid $525. Well, whatever. I lost $50. But anyways, I'm going to say that almost half of that purchase price has been covered. And there's still quite a few nice little books in that collection. So I think I was a little hard on myself and on the collection itself. There are a lot of nice little books in there that I think in the long run, I'll for sure break even. And of course, that's not our intention to break even, but I'll probably make a few $100s, not much more than that. But nonetheless, a nice little collection. I'm glad I picked it up. And I think I was being a little bit too hard on myself and the collection itself. And so again, to the seller, thank you. You know who you are, and I appreciate the opportunity to buy that collection. Now, if you are looking to sell your collection, don't come to me. I don't want to buy any more books. Really, I don't. But if you do have a big collection you want to sell, even a high-value collection, if that ever happens where you're in the position you want to move them, give me a call or contact me, because I do have a fella local to the Toronto area who will travel all over North America if the books are good enough. He'll travel. I've seen him travel across Canada, British Columbia. I've seen him fly into the States to buy collections, and he pays a heck of a lot more than the local comic store. So if you ever have that situation, or you wanna sell a collection with even some big books in there, give me a holler. I'll put you in touch with him, and you guys can work it out. Anyways, I also want to talk a little bit about this. Yes. It just seems when it rains, it pours. I bought that big collection, that 14-box collection several weeks ago. Then I bought that 3-box collection a couple of weeks back. And then on Saturday, my friend phoned me up and said, come on over. I've got some books for you to see. And I ended up leaving there with some more books. So let me start showing some of these off. Now, these are mostly Silver Age Marvels and a couple of DCs thrown in for fun. I did, however, take a few over to my shop. So there's about probably 10 Tales to Astonish, nothing fancy, just 12-cent Tales to Astonish, a couple of Tales of Suspense books. But on top of that, there are these. Check these babies out. So I'll start with, Thor 141. I'm going to move I got the nice stack here. I'll put them off to the side. Copy of Avengers 34. And again, none of these are in super duper condition, but they're just kind of cool. Metal Man 46. This is like a maybe 1/3 of a short box. Amazing Adventures 5. A bunch of Sergeant Fury books. Number 8. Number 25. Number 20. Now, these are kind of cool because I could probably add to the last collection I had. There's lots of Sergeant Furies in that last collection. I can add those to that and maybe sell it as a lot. Number 23. The G.I. Joe, number 54. The DC book. That's kind of cool. How you doing, guys? I'll go to the chat in a second and see if anybody's talking. Teen Titans, number 33. Fighting Forces, number 100. That's not a bad looking book. I can tell you right now, I paid less for this than I did that last one. And lots of nice 12-cent magic in here. A nice Superman book. But again, these are not high-grade books. These are probably like 3s, 4s, that sort of condition. We're looking at number 90 right here. It's a modern junk. Enemy Ace, number 57. Challengers of the Unknown. Captain Savage. Brave and the Bold, number 61, I think. I think it's 61 or 64, I can't tell. The Black Canary. Nice Justice League book, number 41. Tommy Tomorrow. Another Metal Man and the Atom. World's Finest, 152. A Batman 172. So a lot of nice Silver Age run books here. You know, these are probably on the low end. Some of these, you know, Howling Commandos, $10 a book, $15 a book. But some of these are probably 15, 20. If I were to press and clean them, maybe a little more, but I'm not going to press and clean these. I just don't have the time. Here's a nice Strange Tales. Beautiful colors, 148. This is kind of a cool one. Kid Colt Outlaw, number 99. It's in pretty rough shape, though. It's got quite a bit of damage over here. Right? Rawhide Kid 50. Outlaw Kid 129. Two Gun Kid 44. If anybody's into that Western stuff and you want a good deal, give me a holler. These can go to you. Got the Flash with Mr. Mirror Master. Another Flash with, I think, the Weather Wizard. I doubt that's his first appearance, Weather Wizard. I don't think it is, but there it is. And that is it for the base ones. I haven't got to the good ones yet. Let's go over. I'll do the good ones in just 1 second. Let's go over to the chat and see if anybody's chatting up a storm. Probably not. Not a whole hell. There's a few guys here. Let's go on over and see what everybody's saying. Let's see what everybody is saying. Hey, peeps, how you doing, VP? Dennis is here. Oh, that poor bondage collection. That bondage collection is still in there. My toys appreciate whilst I sleep. Gifts and shingles, or gits and shingles. Gits and shiggles. Shits and giggles. You got it. In the long run, no eagles. Folks are pouring into the channel. Please gently press the like button. Oh, thanks, Dennis. I appreciate that. Please do. If you haven't done so already and you're here, hit the like button. It does help with the analytics. And you know what, guys? I've done it. Thank you so much for all those people that have subscribed to the channel. I've been watching the videos because I'm now able to get monetized, which means, I don't know what it means. Not that I'm going to make any money at this. I need to have 1 million subscribers. I need to make a living at this. Just Diet Pepsi, by the way. But it's still nice to know that people are watching and liking the channel and participating in these chats. It's great to see you. Free books in an Indiana barn sales. Metal Men were black sheep of DC. This is not a conversation. All my comics were 1, 3 to 9, occasionally a 2. The Real Hyperion. How you doing, buddy? Dennis is somewhere. Action number 1 is on top of the somewhere. I believe it. Oh my gosh, Tim Metters. Tim, how are you? Long time no talk. Good to see you here, my man. Excellent. And Dennis, I agree with you. I wouldn't be a darn bit surprised if somewhere in this great land of ours, in North America, there's a Action Comics #1 stuffed, I wouldn't say on top of a refrigerator, maybe under a refrigerator in a basement somewhere or in a barn somewhere. A good friend of mine found a Superman #1, and it was just, guy found it in his basement and wanted to get rid of it and sold it to my buddy. Crazy. I held it in my hand. It was nuts. So those books are certainly out there. Where are they? You know what? Good luck finding them. That's the trick, finding them. Again, I'm just going over, if you're new, you're just getting in here. Hi, welcome. I am just going over another small collection I picked up just 2 days ago, and will be the last collection because I don't have time or energy to do any more work on any books. But I'm going to show off some of the nicer ones now. The ones I just showed you were kind of run books or what have you. Here we go. First one. Famous cover, Amazing Spider-Man 33. Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't think I moved the chat over. I apologize for that. In the walls. Yeah, I heard that somewhere. Real Hyperion. I remember watching one of those shows, the Real Hyperion, where someone's house, they were renovating a house they bought, and the people that owned the house used to own a movie theater. So they insulated the walls with old movie posters, and the movie poster on the outmost, closest to the drywall or to the paneling, were all kind of moldy and rotten, but the posters on the inside, like towards the middle, were mint. And were preserved beautifully. So I mean, the posters in the wall ended up paying for the house, the renovations, the whole 9 yards. It was a gold mine, an absolute virtual gold mine. Yeah, barn finds. Good luck. I remember seeing that an episode of American Pickers where they were in a barn and they pulled out a friggin' Amazing Fantasy 15, and they paid $2,000 for it back then. That book could be probably worth 30 or 40 grand now. Davey Clare, do you ever make it to the States to travel? Yeah, you know what's funny, Davey? My friend Paul, who's now living in New Brunswick, and he retired just a couple months back, and now he's living in New Brunswick. He moved away from Ontario, but every summer, when the spring came or when the summer came, we would go on a 4-day road trip, and I live just by Toronto, and if you know, Toronto's by by Lake Ontario. What we would do is we would drive from our place here in the Toronto area. We drive east towards Kingston, and then we would cross the border into Watertown, upstate New York, and we would drive around the lake, and we go to Watertown, Syracuse. And we would work our way over towards Rochester and Buffalo, and we come back into Canada in Niagara Falls. We basically drive around the lake, and we would do a couple of things. We would look for comics, yes, but we would also look for food because we're foodies. So we go and before there was diners, drive-ins, and dives, we would just kind of drive around looking for little mom and pop diners and stuff and get some awesome food. But I will say that the show Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, if you go to the Food Network's website, they have an actual list of all the restaurants they've visited on the show. So we would actually plot out, we're going to go breakfast here, lunch here, and dinner here. So we would, look for comics, and we look for comics, go look at a collection, or I look for toys as well, toys and comics. And then we go for lunch, and then we drive on and go to another town, look for comics, go to visit the comic stores, LCSs, and then go for dinner, and then grab a hotel in another town, and we did that. It was a lot of fun. But now he's gone. He moved back to the Maritimes. Excuse me, I'm not going to be doing that little adventure on my own, but it's a lot of fun. If you have an opportunity to do that, to just go driving and looking, go picking for comics or toys, do it. It's a lot of fun. In fact, we would also go to Buffalo, because Buffalo, like I said, is 2.5 hours here. And you Americans know how to put on some pretty awesome yard sales. Because I picked up some amazing toys and stuff from yard sales. And there's nothing vintage around me anymore. All the homes where I live are all pretty new. But when you go into upstate New York, lots of older, communities, older older folks keep their homes and they they hoard all their kids' toys and such. So you might pop in and find some old Star Wars or some old Mego toys. A lot of fun. So yeah, I do that. Haven't done that in a while. COVID has stopped us. Obviously, we haven't traveled into the States we haven't traveled since before COVID. So we're stuck here. We're kind of stuck here, but it's a lot of fun. You're darn right. Do ever make it okay? I love American Pickers. Me too, Jason. I can watch that show. I can marathon that show. I do like it. I like it a lot more than Pawn Stars and those other shows. Pawn Stars, I think American Pickers is pretty scripted as well, but Pawn Stars is badly scripted. Pawn Stars, and the other one, Counting Cars, and can't stand them. They're just too scripted. That drives me nuts. Marty, have you ever considered... Connor, that House of Secrets 92 I had you press, I found in a barn in Peterborough. Get out of here, Connor. That's awesome. And lucky. Martin, have you considered counseling, Doc? Counseling to talk people out of getting into collecting? No, but I give that advice out readily. Whenever a newbie comes into my office and I found these comics in my attic, or, my great-grandfather had these comics, or, my dad left me these comics. These are my brother's comics. He didn't want them. He gave them to me. I always warn them, be careful. What you're doing here is very dangerous. You're walking a very, very fine line, because you start going down this road. It could be pretty dangerous. It could be pretty dangerous. You do not want to start the collection unless I've been doing this for, as you all know, for several years, and many of you have been doing this for several years as well. I know Tim, if you're still here, Tim has been a collector for many, many years as well. So we've kind of inherited this addiction. But if you can avoid it, maybe avoid it. Northern diners are the heart of NE. I love diners. Is any Nebraska? Jason, is that it? Is that Nebraska? Dennis Mason. My brother brought home Amazing Tales with the first Spider-Man story in '62. We both loved that story. Peter was such a mess. You mean Amazing Fantasy? Amazing Fantasy, I think, is what you meant. Jason Russell, Pawn Stars is nothing but puny now. Yeah, I can't stand it. I just can't stand it. And what I think's hilarious about Pawn Stars is a dude will walk in with something pretty rare, and then Chumley or his son, Rick's son, will, that's from 1753, and then he'd give a whole background on the item, like as if he knew, So I just can't stand it. It's so these bozos are. Yeah, okay. Even Rick sometimes. Yeah, did you really know all that, or did you do like a Wikipedia search and did the script writers give you a whole script to recite upon discovering this amazing gem? It's just annoying. So I don't watch it anymore. Tim, what are your thoughts regarding DC being better deals since the surge last January as opposed to Marvel? Yeah, Tim, I've been saying that for a long time. I think that there are a lot of deals to be had with DC right now. Oh, the Northeast, okay. So if you can find, but I'll tell you, they're not cheap, I think you can get some great deals on some DC sleeper books, but people are figuring that out too. I decided about 3 months ago, I'm going to start looking for like a Marvel Premiere 15. After Iron Fist kind of had its height there when it was on Netflix, and it wasn't very good, and it kind of lost some popularity. The price tanked. The comic value tanked. So I started looking, and as I was looking, I noticed it started doing this again. It started going up again. So it's like everything else, hills and valleys, right? Hills and valleys. You want to kind of buy them on the down as they're coming down, and hope they go back up again. I think they will. But yeah, I think picking up Silver and Bronze Age DC's first appearances, key issues, probably a smart move. The Northeast, so Northeast diners. Yeah, man, I love going to diners. We if you're ever in Oshawa, there's a great, well, I don't know if it's called a diner or not, but it's a family. They don't serve alcohol. It's a family restaurant, and it's awesome. It's called Teddy's. Anybody, Marty will know Teddy's. He's from Oshawa, but man, I love the best coconut cream pie around, man. I love it. Chumley is fantasy is yes, and Chumley is a comedy name. It sure is. Jason, my wife's favorite comment on Pawn Stars is, why on earth did they take that to a... Yeah. Oh, here's Amazing Fantasy 15 in a 5.0. Let's take it to the pawn shop and get 35, 40% less than we get if we just send it to Comic Link or put it on eBay or sell it myself. Like, give me a break. I know, Marty, I know. I'm done. Like, look, I'm never going to pass up a deal, right? If I see a deal, I'm never going to pass up a deal. I can't. It's in my... It doesn't even have to be comic books. If someone's selling, I don't know, a brand new refrigerator and it's a great deal, I'm buying it. That's just the way I am. And I'll be honest, I have no room. That 14-box collection I bought, I have to get rid of it. I can't keep it. I have nowhere to put it. I have no room here. I have no room anywhere. So I've kind of went through it a couple. I'm going to go through it a third time, and I've decided, I said I was going to do this weeks ago. I'm going to take it to the shop, and I might have a Saturday and a Sunday sale, $10 a book, whatever. I don't care what's in it. If it's $30, $40, $50 books, take them. And then when all the $10 books are gone, I'll reduce it to $5 a book and then just blow it all out and just get rid of it because I have to get rid of them. I have nowhere to keep the collection. And that's another issue. I just don't have the room. I mean, I'm not like Mile High Comics where I have like a stadium-sized space where I can store things. Dennis, everything changes. Trends are being born and dying at light speed. You're right. Colin Smith, got here, what I missed. Oh, Colin, I'm just going through some books that I picked up. I showed some of the first batch. You know what? I only showed one more of the other one. Let me go back and I'll continue because there are some nice books here. I think you guys are going to really like these. I picked up, it was pretty much a Silver Age batch, but the better of the books are right here. So again, Amazing Spider-Man 33, famous cover. I think it's the last. Is that the last Ditko cover? It might be the last Ditko cover. A nice copy of X-Men number 8. So some nice books here. Fantastic Four number 53. So I think you'll agree this is a little bit, we got a little more key Silver Age books here that are a little more fun to look at. I guess and this is when I was very happy about this one. X-Men number 9. First time the X-Men meet the Avengers. Again, it's not like a 9-0 or nothing, but it might come back a 3.5. Yeah, probably a 3.5. Maybe a 4. A nice early Daredevil, number 5. And that one's in pretty good shape, actually. So, Marty, how could I pass up on these? How could I? This is kind of cool. I didn't even see this one. When I bought the collection. I got home and I went through them. And look at this. Detective Comics. Let's see if you guys know. Detective Comics 300. What's so significant about that? Does anybody know what's so important about Detective Comics 300? We have any Batman fans out there? I'll give you guys a second to see that. Anybody? Okay, no one knows. As soon as I go away, someone's going to guess it. All right. Well, anyways, it's the first appearance of Polka Dot Man. And I had no idea, and no one cared about Polka Dot Man. Oh, does anybody say? No, not Batmite. Polka Dot Man. But check this out. First appearance of Polka Dot Man right there. Now, again, guys, it is not mint by any definition. But it certainly isn't too bad. And I was really happy to see that there. It's kind of fun. I think it's a $300 or $400 book, even in this condition. Thanks to the Suicide Squad. So that was in the lot as well. This one is in the lot as well. I like this one here. This is not necessarily an expensive book, but it's a nice shape. And I absolutely love this cover with Sandman and the Hulk 113. Love it. Here's another nice one. Amazing Spider-Man 100. Someone was asking about this at the sale on Friday. Well, here it is. And this is probably like a 6.5. What do we got left? A couple more good ones still. Yeah, Tales of Asgard number 1. Pretty cool. You know? This is one I see all the time at the shop now, and that's the Fantastic Four King Size Special, number 6, with the first Franklin Richards, I believe. This is a hot book. I see this here all the time. And last but not least, the last one is, and this one's a lower grade one, probably like a 2.5, maybe a 3 if I work on it, is Amazing Spider-Man 31, first appearance of Gwen Stacy and Harry Osborn. So there you go. Not bad, eh? I thought it wasn't too bad. I was pretty happy with that. So that was the collection. I couldn't resist, Marty. I couldn't resist. You know, when I saw the ASM 300 and a few of the other books there, I said, I got to go for it. So I dropped another several $100s. But I can tell you I paid significantly less. I paid half for those than I did for the 3-box collection. I'll do much better on this one, but that's okay. Again, as long as I'm not losing, I'm not too upset. Let's see what else people are saying here. Davey, a lady brought in a Werewolf by Night 32 CGC. No, I saw that one. Their expert grade appraised it at $60K. I remember, was it a 9.8? I remember seeing that episode, actually. And they bring that big guy from Torpedo Comics, that bald British guy. Hello, how are you? And he comes and he's all bald and huge. The guy looks like the Incredible Hulk, and he comes in there and he gives them their 2 cents worth. I think that dude also does all the torpedo auctions. Colin Smith, ASM 316 newsstand CGC 9.8 featured on the Comic Doctor for trade, a lower grade GS X-Men #1 graded. Yeah, so Colin is actually Craig, and if you watched one of my unboxings about 2 weeks ago, I think it was, I had a giant size, I had an Amazing Spider-Man 316 newsstand 9.8. That belongs to Colin Smith, and he is desperately seeking a giant size X-Men #1, and he would like to trade or put that towards a giant size X-Men #1. I don't know the details of what grade he wants. I think he wants a lower grade, but perhaps he wants a higher grade. I don't know. But if you've got one, or if you're in the market to buy an Amazing Spider-Man 316 newsstand, give Colin a holler, and you guys can work something out. Dennis, hence, don't be bummed by Com Street without the crowded room. Okay. Jason, has to be hard to make those sales of collections like that when you are looking at individual comics and knowing what pressing grading would do for them. Yes, you can, but you can't. You can't walk into a store. You guys can't do this, all right? You cannot walk into a comic store with your raw collection and expect the comic store owner to offer you graded prices, or even to consider the book, right, as a graded book. You can't. If you want to sell your books and get graded prices, I got bad news for you. You have to grade the books first. All right? I know it might not sound right, but that's just the way it is. And you're right. I can't. And so when someone comes in and they say, here, I want to sell this book, do I look at the book and say, okay, do I give him what I think the book is going to be worth after I work on it? Or do I give him what the book is worth as it sits? To me, it's as it sits. You know, I haven't done no work. It is what it is. So if I'm buying books, now don't get me wrong. Do I think, yeah, can I fix that book up? Sure. If the books are super high grade, I might take that into consideration. But these books are not high grade. These are not going to be. This is not going to be a 9 or an 8 or a 7 or a 6. Lucky if I get a 3 out of this thing. So you know what I mean. But you can't expect, and me neither. I can't sell raw books and expect to get graded prices for them. You know, you just can't. It's not right. If I want to do that, I got to grade the books first. Okay? Remember I showed you all those modern books from that collection I got? If I were to sell those books raw, I'm not going to sell them for $300-$400 a piece as though they were 9.8 CGC. That's not fair, and you can't do that. They're raw books. So I got to sell them to a raw price. So if a 9.8 CGC is selling for $400 or $500, perhaps a raw near mint would cost $150, and that's what you got to sell it for. Right? And then the person who buys it has to do all the work. They got to press it, clean it, send it to CGC, wait 10 months, whatever. Right? That's the name of the game. When you buy a CGC graded book, you're paying a premium because all the work's been done and you have a grade and you know what the grade is. If it's raw, it's buyer beware, right? You never know. Hey, Craig, that's right. Craig's a big X-Men guy. Yeah, there's the X-Men 8. I also had the X-Men 9 there, I think. Was it 8? No, 8. The Unis is 8. This one here. Well, we can talk. We can talk, Craig. Give me a holler. Marty, we have never been to Teddy. Yeah, Marty, what the heck, man? You've never been to Teddy's. But you're from Scarborough, I think, aren't you? I think. Originally, I mean, you lived in Oshawa for a long time. Aren't you from Toronto or something like that? I thought. I could be wrong. But if you have not been to Teddy's, what are you waiting for? Get over there. They've changed ownership, but the food is still, it's the same food. And I like it. The roast beef sandwiches. It's like a deli, guys. Great food. What's the grade on the FF53? Let's see. Where is she? Let's have a look, and I'll tell you what the grade on the FF50 currently as it sits. Yeah, now all these ones that are really like the ones I just showed you, they're all going to get worked on. The run books, no, of course not. But the books that are valuable, of course, I'm going to work on them as they are. But as it sits right now, this book is probably a I want to say like a 4.5. When I'm done, maybe like a 6, you know? So it's a nice book. Nice gloss. It's all there. I haven't gone through them to make sure there's no pages, ripped. The corners are all bent. I got to spot press every single page. You got a big dent in it. But yeah, nice book. Batman withdraws from Venom. He sure does. Batmite. Oh, you're talking about the polka dot. Oh, Jet Chin Tuttle, how's it going? That's not Luke, is it? You didn't change it. It's a... How you doing? Jet, yeah, you're right. Polka Dot Man. Jason, ASM 100, great cover it is. I wish a 101 was in that collection too, but it was not. Davy Clare, don't get polka dotted by the Polka Dot Man. That's right. And he was the best character in that Suicide Squad movie. I've seen better boxes. No, I haven't. Look, this was not a bad little pickup for, it didn't break the bank. Marty, Jason Russell, I was offered $12,000 for my collection and recently sold 2 for $5,000. Yeah, Marty, I know who offered you the $12,000. That guy's a real jackass. Tim, beautiful cover on ASM 31, similar to red cover of ASM. Right, yeah, the ASM is very red as well too. I think it's a darker red, but it's still a nice red. The nice red covers, gorgeous. Way more in this batch. Yeah, Marty, I agree. Martin, yeah, nice. Colin, lower graded, yeah. Lower grade graded or sell. Yeah. He's talking about his ASM 316 and his desire to find a giant size X-Men 1. And by the way, Craig, the fella whose number I sent to you, he does have a giant size X-Men 1. It is currently at CGC. I sent it. So I'll be getting it back probably not too long from now. Love your show. Family, thank you so much, family. Appreciate it. Thanks for popping by. Glad you could make it. Certainly glad you're here. Hey, Wayne, how's it going? Good seeing you yesterday, buddy. By the way, I think you did a great buy this time. Those comics are awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I think so too. It was a good buy. Jason, Comic Doctor. Absolutely. I mean, absolutely. I mean, when you go to sell the collections, you buy. Yeah, you have to. You have to. Craig Collins sold me 7 books at a wonderful price. Yeah, what a great guy. I did give you a good deal on those books. Those reprint X-Men's were probably $30, $40 books, but they've been in the shop for so long. I'm glad they went to someone who's actually going to enjoy them. Excellent. Jimmy, how you doing from New Mexico? Glad you're here, bud. Dennis, my typing went wonky. Brain seizure. I wasn't being poetic. There is a sense of a remote trading scene without the Wall Street crowd. You could go on a barn tour and film it. I'd love, that'd be a pretty amazing thing. I'll tell you a fun story. When I was in where was it? Watertown, New York? I think it was Watertown. Guys, my buddy Paul and I went, and this guy had an ad. It was a Google ad. I typed in comic book stores, and this guy's private residence shows up. So I go to his house, knock on the door, no answer. Knock again, no answer. So I started leaving, and I hear a door open, and there's this dude, and he comes out. Can I help you? I'm like, yeah. Is this not a comic store? No, it's not a comic store. He says. I go, well, you're on Google. Is a comic store? He goes, well, no. And he was very standoffish. He didn't want to talk to us. He was kind of keeping his distance. And I go, my buddy and I, we're just friends. We come from Toronto. We look around for comics and such. And I kind of small talked him a little bit. He became a little more comfortable. And I said, well, do you have comics for sale? He says, yes, I do. I said, well, can we come and have a look? He says, yes, you can. We walk into his basement. Guys, we get him from his garage. We go in the basement. He must have had 250 long boxes along one side of his house. 250 long boxes stacked, 3 or 4 high. And then he had another room with shelving, just short boxes. And there was no rhyme or reason to the organization. It was a giant mess. He was very protective of everything. I didn't end up buying very much from him, but I do have his phone number. And I did contact him recently. And this is going back 3 or 4 years ago, maybe longer, maybe 5 or 6 years ago. I ended up buying a few books off him, but nothing much. And but he had so much Golden Age stuff. Not a lot of the key books, but lots of run books, EC books, pre-code horror, that kind of stuff. Really interesting war books. And so I want to go back. When it's safe to go back, I might go for a drive and visit him again and see the books he has, because he had so much there. You would need 2 or 3 days to go through the stuff properly. But yeah, I mean, that's what happens. You don't know. You just drive. It's like the American Pickers. They just drive around looking for barns, and then they knock on the door and ask, and sometimes they get lucky and sometimes they don't. On the show, it's obviously all predetermined, but that's basically how it works, right? A lot of fun. And when you do find it, boy, a lot of fun. That's the fun of buying raw, and it is fun to buy raw books, because it's especially for me. If I get a book that's raw and I think I can make it better, and then sometimes it turns out better than I thought it could even be, right? And that's a lot of fun. I do like that. That is a lot of fun. Yeah, I love both of them. Hold them for me. You're talking about the two X-Men books I have. Hold them for you. I'll do that. The Real Hyperion will be suspending service. Well, yes and no. Probably this week I'm going to finally do my newsletter, and I'm going to finally announce who won my Google 50 review Google $50 prize or whatever it was. I'm going to do that this week at some point. I'm probably going to suspend submissions to be sent to me. The reason being is I'm at maximum capacity. If books are coming in by the mail, I have nowhere to put them. I don't have enough room. That's my issue here. So I will still take submissions. You can still go onto my website, fill out the submission form, and and hold your space. But I probably won't open the floodgates to have them brought to me at the shop or shipped in maybe until the new year, maybe until late January or something like that. I just don't have the room, and I just want to focus on getting what I've got done. And then, but that being said, I will still keep the high value books open. So if you have a big book, like a big giant size X-Men, or a big Amazing Spider-Man #1, or an X-Men #1, or something like that, something big or high value that you want done, I'll still do those, because that's usually 1 or 2 books. It's not 20 books or 15 books or whatever, right? I'm just trying to kind of keep it, calm down. I'll only open the office at this point for deliveries, basically meaning to give books back. If someone's order is complete, they can come to the shop and I'll meet them there and give them their books back. I won't be taking books at the shop. Probably, I haven't decided yet, but soon. I'm doing one more. I'm trying to organize the place right now. Another day or so and I'll know, and then I'm going to stop taking the books. And I really need to just focus. I'm going to try to ramp it up and get even more books done, because February's coming quickly, and I got to get to a point where I'm in a better shape to receive more books from you guys. February to June is going to be hairy because of I'm going back to school. I'm going back to teach. For February to June, and then after June I'll be off again for a long time. I won't go back in September again next year. I'll keep doing this. Yeah. Anyways, that's a long answer to your comment, but that's pretty much where I'm at right now. The Real Hyperion. Marty, North York. Oh, okay. I knew it was Toronto somewhere. Tim, how concerned is everyone about Eternals beginning of end beginning or end of MCU? Some feel it's just critics being hard on the movie. So Tim's asking that question, guys. What do you think? Do you think that the Eternals is the end of the MCU, even though it's kind of like a new beginning? What do you think? Let us know. Let us know in the comment section below. I'd like to hear your views on that, or let us know in this chat. Do you think that Eternals movie marks the end of the MCU. I'll give you my opinion really quick, Tim. I'm not worried. I have not, ever since Endgame, I don't think I have been bonkers about anything the MCU's put out. The TV shows, Shang-Chi, Black Widow, nothing has blown my mind. I haven't been like, whoa, you know. Now, have I been the first to go see them? Yes. And have I watched every single episode on Disney Plus? Yes, my whole family has. Did I like what I saw? Sure, I liked it. I didn't love it. And I don't, people keep talking about comic book, MCU fatigue or comic book movie fatigue. Maybe that's setting in for me. I don't know. I think the problem, and now what's happening with the MCU, which I think is very concerning, is we're going down that woke road. And that's what I think the Eternals kind of did. Now, the Eternals as a team was a multicultural team, men, women, gay, straight, whatever. It had every a deaf character in there. They try to, fill all the, get it right in every regard, and to represent everybody, and that's fantastic. I have no problem with that. But this. Again, I'll say this over and over again. If your agenda, your political agenda is coming first, your stories and characters are going to suffer, and people are going to get fed up with it, right? And they're not going to support it. And so I see, if you watch the Disney Plus Day, go back and see, and I talked a bit about it on a chat a few days ago. If you go back and look, a lot of what's coming seems to be, again, like, where's the X-Men? Where's the Fantastic Four? Where are these, where's the Silver Surfer and Doctor Doom and all these characters, these key big characters? Are they, like, why would you hold off on that? I don't understand that. Why are you, like, that Miss Marvel and Ironheart and all these B, C, D tier characters that really not many people know. Even us old farts, we know who they are, but we didn't go kooky for them. And their popularity isn't there, so that makes me nervous. And I wonder if they're doing that just to as a part of a woke agenda. That, again, I don't want these to be political movies. They did it with Star Wars. I think they ruined Star Wars because of it. The Force is female and all that bullshit. That drove me crazy. Just tell us a freaking good story, Write a good script, have a good plan, and tell us a good story. And yeah, put characters into representation. I have no problem with that. But don't make that the focal point of your films. Is that you're trying to check the boxes. Oh, we have one of those. We have one of those. We have one of those. If the MCU, Tim, is going down that road, then I'm very, very nervous for the MCU, because I think it's going to backfire big time. Hopefully it won't. But but what do you guys think? Jason, hey, one movie bombing isn't going to end the franchise. Way too much content to push out. That is great to redeem it. Yeah, and I didn't hate the Eternals either, guys. It just makes me nervous a bit. The ASM 31 will pay for it all. Will it, Bill? What's it worth? I don't think it's worth that much, is it? Is it worth more than $200? I didn't think it was. Maybe I'm wrong. Again, I am not a walking Overstreet. So, and I don't check Key Collector and GP and all that. I'm not on there all the time. I have no time. So I'm nervous. Hey, Luke, how's it going? Please just send me the price. Okay, when I figure it out, Craig, I will. I might grade those, Craig. I don't know yet. I'm not sure. I got to look at them. Kevin, family. Kevin, open a comic shop. No way. No way. No. Nope. Not ever doing that. Family E, I've never met a happy LCS owner ever. Don't wish that on Kevin. No, the way I have it right now, family, is I have a little shop, a little office where people come to pick up books, drop off books, And I have some books for sale, but I do not want to get into having new stock. I don't want to have, new comic book day and all that junk. And that to me just sounds like way too much work. Doing CGC in this is more than enough. I can barely keep up doing this. I couldn't imagine having a comic store and then the overhead and the payroll to hire people that no, I'm too old for. Maybe, I'll tell you one thing though, family. I did try to open a comic store, when I was 21, 22, but I didn't have a pot to pee in back then, so I couldn't do it. But I thought about it. I think everybody who loves comic books at some point, and whoever's, a Kevin Smith fan, loves watching Clerks and that sort of thing. It would be fun to have a comic store maybe, or, but no, for me, that time is over. I'm happy the way it is. I go in once a week. Today, and I went in twice this week, and I went today to meet Craig because Craig wanted to come yesterday and I didn't have my books on me, so I came in today to meet him. And then another fella from Toronto brought an Amazing Fantasy 15 to show me, to get my advice on. So I went in for that, and we talked comics and we went home. That was it. And no need for a store. But thanks for the input there, family. Thanks for the input. Jason, you need an apprentice. Yeah, I keep hearing that over and over. Jason Russell, teach what? Well, Jason, that's a lot of that's a big question because I teach a lot of things. I studied visual arts and dramatic arts and sociology at university, and for 25 years I've been pretty much an arts teacher. 98% of the time I was either teaching dramatic arts, musical theater, theater production class, visual arts. I say drama, and in the last few years, I should say. I've been pretty much teaching film studies. I was also a guidance counselor for about 10 years, and I'm no longer a guidance counselor. I'm back in the classroom again. I was always in the classroom. I never wanted to be in guidance 100%. I always felt as a guidance counselor it was better to be in guidance and working with the kids so they get to know you and they feel more comfortable coming into guidance to talk to you. A lot of kids don't want to go to guidance because they're intimidated by the whole thing. But if I'm in the trenches with them, they feel more comfortable talking to me, right? So I did that for several years. Like I said, about 10 years in guidance, half-time, and now I'm back. Well, I'm not full-time. I'm doing this half-time, but I think in February, I'm teaching 2 film sections and a course called Religion Through the Arts, where I talk about religion and art, and it's cool. So I talk about drama and visual arts again. It's like a history class, basically, with a religious history angle as well. It's kind of cool. The kids seem to like it. Too funny, Colin. Dennis, I've written 3,000 songs since 2012, and I have a square box bursting with notebooks full of songs. I could go nuts organizing the songs, and I watch your show, and I see quite the challenge. Yep. Jason, Woke Road, so apropos. That seems to be Marvel as a whole at the moment, and that's no good. I don't want to go to a movie and be... I don't want to go to a political movie. Star Wars, The Force Awakens, and all of them were political movies. It was political agenda, and it drove me freaking crazy, Even that recent He-Man freaking cartoon was full of it. And you know what? It's everywhere. And I'm sick of it. I don't want that shit thrown down my throat. I just don't want it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it in my movies. And I'll tell you, I don't want to talk politics here either, but I mean, I'm not going to forget it. But I'm just saying, that agenda is irritating and it's so obvious, right? If you watch the CW, those DC shows, oh my God, they're the most, I stopped watching. I couldn't take it anymore. I could not take it anymore. Done. You don't want me? I'm checking out. And even DC, you saw what's going on with the news in DC right now. All these new characters and whatever, and what they're doing. They're swapping characters around and changing genders and making a male character female now, or take a straight character, a character that's been straight for years is now gay. I mean, I don't know. I just have had enough. I don't want to read it. I don't want to see it. I don't care. I'm done. When it starts going down that road, I want nothing to do with it because it's political. You don't need to do that. I don't think you need to do that anyways. Maybe I'm wrong, right? Dr. Doom. Yeah, where is he? I'm back, Kev. Hey, Dave, how's it going? Had to take a break from life for a little while. Nothing wrong with that, my friend. Nothing wrong with that. Dennis, I wrote a dirge metal song in E minor titled Dr. Doom, Captain Obvious, wrote the bloody song. Well, Dennis, you got to record that and send it to me because I want to hear it. Timothy, thanks, Kevin. Spot on. Appreciate the sincerity. Hey, man, no problem. No problem. Aren't comic books and movies supposed to be fun? Just fun, you know? I would have followed Luke Skywalker if he was white, or if he was Asian, or if he was, African American. I would have followed him. I don't care that he was white. I really don't. I didn't care. Or if Han Solo was. Who cares, right? But now people care, and it's yeah. Anyways. And then you have a character. I'm going off, and then you have a character like Finn, right? Which was an awesome character, a stormtrooper that defects. Wicked. That first image of The Force Awakens, that trailer, when he takes off the mask and you see the face of a stormtrooper. We've never seen the face of a stormtrooper before, right? And here we see the face of a stormtrooper, and they did nothing with that character. Nothing. They were so concerned that, well, we have the female lead, we have the African American lead, and we have, and then we'll put the white lead, kind of give him a kind of a third tier role, and that's all. Well, that's not all. You had a wicked idea and you blew it. You blew it because the agenda was more important than this character's backstory. And even the Boyega himself was pissed off that they did nothing with that character. That's what I'm talking about. Give us some good writing and forget about, and everything else will fall into place. You know what I mean? You don't have to shove things down our throats just for the sake of it. Oh, see, I get so ticked off at that. I love my movies, guys. I get really pissed off at that. David, Turtles was poop. Yeah, David didn't like it. Why not? You just can't say it was poop. Why didn't you like it? Your collector's language is strange and disturbing. A comic store would hire you as a consultant every once in a while. Dennis, again, Kevin Smith lives a half mile from where I type. I wrote a song for him called Dr. Doom. He treats me like a stalker. The song is most excellent. He refuses the song. Neighbors, Yeah, neighbor, yeah. I know. Luke, your claim sale had some crazy caliber books, by the way. Yeah, that's Tony, man. Tony brought the books. And Tony and Roy want to do it again in 2 or 3 weeks. We have got to figure out how to better organize those claim sales, guys. I might do my own small mini sales here. Like, it's more controlled, just me and you, and I can do that. I might do that eventually, but I need more than 15 people showing up. I got to have at least, 30, 40 people showing up to make it worth my while. Otherwise, it's just, we're just going to talk, which is good too, but, but the Instagram claim sales are great. It's just, again, we're not very organized. Tony has a lot of experience doing that, and he's got a lot of great books. So we will do it again. We will do it again, probably before Christmas. Jason, Religion Through the Arts. I needed to audit that. Sounds like fun. I thought it was. I think it's great, man. The kids know, I teach at a Catholic school, and you have these grade 9s, these grade 10s. Is it a grade 10? It's grade 10. It's a grade 10 class. And you talk to the kids about their faith, about, being a Catholic or a Christian, and they have no clue the history of their faith. They have no idea. None, zero, none of them, not one. And I think you should know the history of your faith. If you're calling yourself a Christian, you should know where it all came from, where did it all start. Not just being a Catholic, but just being a Christian. So I go right back, right back to the beginning, when it was illegal to be a Christian, right? When you were crucified if you're a Christian, right? When you had to hide, right? To practice your faith. So we talk about that stuff, and then the art that goes along with it, because. Anyways, I'm not going to teach that here, but that's what I tend to do. And the kids are, I think, are pretty amazed by a lot of the stuff they hear because they don't know it, And I think they should. Anyways, again, yeah, it's a pretty cool class, Jason. Dennis, teaching is sick. Yeah, it's a good gig. It's a good gig. Not easy though. Not an easy gig. Tiring. Maybe a hero will arise from the independent comic that slowly enters his zeitgeist. Maybe. Family, thought that the FF #2 was really well done with Silver Surfer. I liked the way Silver Surfer looked. I was never a fan of... look, I didn't mind those Fantastic Four movies. That #2 I thought was better than #1. I liked Human Torch. I liked Sue Storm. Jessica Alba, who wouldn't like Sue Storm, right? And I hated the Thing. He was too short. They should have CG. Well, it would have looked awful. CG back then would have looked pretty bad. But I thought that Chiklis was okay sounding as the Thing, but he just didn't. Frig, man. I think the Human Torch was taller than him. I hated that. The thing has got to be huge, like 7 foot or 6.5. No, more. 7, 8 feet, like the Hulk. So that was my big complaint. But I mean, it was the time, right? And they didn't do Doctor Doom right. So I did like it. I did like the Silver Surfer, the way he looked. I liked Lawrence Fishburne's voice acting was good, and it was well done. Galactus was terrible, right? It was a big cloud. Now we're gonna get Galactus by the looks of it. So yeah. Luke, did I miss the first Polka Dot Man? You did. Do you want to see it? Luke, you're a D. Now Luke's a DC guy. There you go. First Polka Dot Man, Detective Comics 300. All right. There you go. Can a computer not so literate person cyber mail and a 6-minute song? I don't know. Well, then don't just get a tape recorder, tape it, put a little Maxell tape in there, tape it. There you go. And then mail it to me. I can listen to it, but I got to find a tape deck. I don't think I have a tape deck to listen to it on. Now that you mention it, I don't have a tape deck. Just tell a good story. That's right, man. Luke, just tell a damn good story. No, I get it, Dennis. It's hard. It's hard if you don't have a computer these days to do that sort of thing, but perhaps you know somebody that's kind of literate that can do it. Probably need a stationary frame to set up and just move the books instead of the camera. Yeah, maybe that'll work. But then they have, my shop, Luke. It's so narrow, right? And then you have Steve has his books on the one side, and then I got to figure out. I tried using a tripod. The legs were too big. It was knocking it over the other time. So that's why. And I know I shake the camera too much. So I don't know. We got to figure something out, man. So many good stories, Jason says, about religion in today's stories. Awesome. Well, I try, and I do a whole film thing with the kids too, right? Because let's be honest, most of the stories that we have today are based in Bible stories. The whole brother versus brother, Cain and Abel, that sort of thing. We see those themes. Those themes are used over and over and over again, right? In novels and in plays, and now in film, we see that, right? Underdog stories like Daniel in the Lion Den or Jonah and the Whale. All these stories, right? They're all underdog stories. Rocky, $1 Million Baby, that sort of thing. Those types of show, or Gladiator, right? They all have their basis. The first stories, or some of the first stories, were from the Bible, right? And we see those themes, those thematic, those themes in stories today. So it's awesome. Surfer looked fab for that time. It sure did. Mail a thumb drive. LOL. Yeah, you could do that too. How is the condition? Oh, probably 2.5. 2.5 on the Polka Dot Man. Maybe a 3. Needs some work, that's for sure. Jason, I'm listening. There you go. Jason, you could be his manager. Never know. You guys could make some serious cash. Colin Smith, comic doctor. Seamus was just walked in watching you wide-eyed and amazed. He just saw you today. He thinks you're a movie star now. I am a movie star. I'm YouTube famous, don't you know? So there it is. Luke, maybe Gorilla Pods might help? Yeah, I got to figure something out. I just want to have a table. I'd love to have a long table with like 3 of us on the table, and we just bring the books out one by one. Maybe have some books in the back, A, B, C, D. So if people, hey, can I have that look over there? And then one of us can grab it. So the camera is stationary, a good quality camera, kind of like the one I'm using right now. We'll see. Again, we don't have the space in there to do, unless I rearrange the office again, and maybe we could work something out. I'll figure something out. Now, like I said, Tony's a mechanic. Tony owns a garage here in Oshawa, and he's got a lot of space over there. So we could maybe go over there. So we will see. I have 9 tape recorders, including a 4-track. The rubber loops have disintegrated in every single machine. Well, it happens over time, Dennis. But good for you for having it. Now, I actually had an old reel-to-reel tape that my grandfather, who's long passed away, had spoken on. And I went and looked for a reel-to-reel tape deck, and I found one. I bought it, brought it home, and could I find the reel tape that my grandfather, I couldn't even find it. So now I have this old reel-to-reel tape in the garage, another thing that's collecting dust. Not sure if they make for phones, though. I think you can get an attachment for phones, for the some of the camera holders, guys. I'm YouTube famous Don't you know that's a song, a new one. A new one. Yeah. Well, listen, guys, that's been about an hour. Oh, I know I promised an unboxing today, and I didn't get them yet. They were supposed to arrive on Friday, and they were delayed. So I'll be getting the 2 boxes of CGC books tomorrow at some point. So I will do a CGC unboxing probably on Tuesday. I am still working on the books from last week, so I don't know when I'm going to do a What's in the Press. I might skip What's in the Press this week. We will see. I went to my safety deposit box today and grabbed a few books to show somebody today. Not to sell, I just wanted them to compare. And so I have those to share with you before I take them back. Yeah, we'll see. So I'll probably do a couple of videos this week as well, too. A couple more questions and I'll take off. Put your books up for sale on Facebook Marketplace. Family, you know what? I've done it before, and I could do that. The problem with Facebook Marketplace is if you get $100 book, everyone's going to offer you $20, and it's just kind of irritating, right? The claim sales are better. I did very well on Friday. I was quite happy with how I did. I sold a Silver Surfer #1. And I sold Aquaman #1, and I got pretty much eBay price, which was great. And would I have gotten that on Facebook Marketplace? I don't know. Reel to reel is ultimate. Timothy, I hear the most recent Ghostbusters movie gets it right. I saw it on Thursday night, and I really liked it. And yes, I don't want to say too much, Tim. I don't want to give any spoilers away. There was one thing I think they could have done a bit better, and I'm just going to say Paul Rudd, who I love Paul Rudd and everything he does, and he is the sexiest man alive, don't you know? They should have used him more. I'm going to tell you, I'll give you, it's not really a spoiler, but he is relegated to the same level of character as Rick Moranis was in the original Ghostbusters movie. And that's fine and everything. That's a pretty significant part. And Paul Rudd is in the movie, but I think they utilized him wrong. They should have just swapped him with another character and used him as more. They really focused on the kids, and that was fine, but I think he should have been there with them as a mentor or whatever. And yeah, as you all know, the original cast comes back, who's left, and they ended it on a really nice note. And yeah, it was kind of emotional. It was a good film. I think you're going to really like it. I really did enjoy. We all enjoyed Ghostbusters 2, for sure. I need to go back and see the Eternals again, to be honest. I can't. Everyone asks what I think of the Eternals, and I still want to see it. I know that Dave said it was poop, but I want to go back and see it one more time because I I need to give it one more shot. I missed the first 15 minutes of it, and when I got there, it took me. I was eating my hot dog and popcorn, and people were walking by. It was just a crazy night, and I didn't really get into the movie properly. So I might go out one afternoon and just on my own and check it out like a loser, go to the movie and watch it on my own. Thanks, Luke. Have a great night. Thanks for the show. James, no problem. Happy to do it. Jason, that new Ghostbusters movie looks like fire. Oh, fire this or this? Like it's on fire or a dumpster fire? What do you mean? Thumbs up or thumbs down, Jason? You should do a live auction, maybe partner with Gem. Oh, yeah, Gem Mint won't even... If I contacted Gem Mint, he wouldn't even talk to me. I've contacted a few YouTube guys who have around the same subscriber base as me. The best way to grow your channel is to collaborate. I mean, I gained so many subscribers when I did Robert Meyer Burnett's show that day. And I might be back on Robert's show on Tuesday, by the way, to give out a couple of Hawkeye books if he gets back to me. I haven't heard from him yet. If not, I'm going to give them out here. But I have there's just 21 of you on here right now, and I'll tell you, if you hear what I'm saying, hit the like button. On Tuesday, I might be on Robert Meyer Burnett's show, probably around 5:30 again, to give out a copy. I think it's House of M. I want to say number 6. It's a variant cover with Hawkeye, a pretty cool Hawkeye cover, graded 9.8. And I also have a copy of Hawkeye number 1 featuring Kate Bishop's first solo series. And it's near mint, beautiful copy. I might even grade it for the lucky winner. But those babies are going to be given away, I think, I'm not 100% sure, on Tuesday on Robert Meyer Burnett's channel. 19 of you in here now. If you've heard that, give me a thumbs up because I want one of you to win it because you're my people. You're my people, right? Anyways, what's Jason saying here? You want to get that answer. Paul Rudd is a kid, thus the chemistry. Definitely. RMB still loves the Eternals. Yeah, he does like it. That's why I want to go back and see it again. I didn't hate the Eternals. I think I need to watch it one more time. Jason at Dennis Mason. Absolutely. That is such a spot on comment. I'm missing it here. Oh, kid. Okay. On fire. I think that means good. It's a good thing. Tuesday, I have to live to Tuesday. Yes. And that's if he gets, I talked to him briefly the other day. Like I texted him briefly, but Robert Meyer Burnett is the busiest dude there is. He's got so much going on. I don't know how he does it. And that guy doesn't sleep, man. I don't know how he does it. He does not sleep. I was up till 2:00 in the morning on Friday night after the the sale, and I felt like garbage all Saturday. And I slept like crazy all like last night. I slept until 10 o'clock this morning. Robert Meyer Burnett goes to bed at 3, 4 in the morning. He's up at 6. I don't know how he does it. I think he drinks like the tears of angels or children or something because he's able to stay awake and keep going. I don't know how he does it. Damn fam, hit that like. Yeah, a few people did. Jason. Eternals was a 5 or 6 out of 10. For me, at least, was okay. Yeah, for me, I think I'm around a 7. But I want to see it again. Like I said, my wife, she didn't care for it. And she loves all the Marvel movies. She was pretty critical of it. She said they were trying a little too hard. So maybe that was the case. Anyways, guys, it's 6:40. Oh my God, it's 6:41 p.m. in Oshawa, Ontario, Canada. I am going to finish organizing some comic books. I have about 10 I got to get in the press tonight. I have to because they're humidifying over there and you can't leave them in for too long. And then I'll be back probably Tuesday for a live unboxing, okay? I am getting the heck out of here because I need to eat. So, my friends, until next time, thank you so much for popping by. I sure hope you liked that collection of books I shared with you today. I hope you enjoyed it because there ain't going to be any more for a long, long time. At least I keep telling myself that. Have a great rest of your Sunday night. Have a pleasant evening, and we'll see you soon, hopefully on Tuesday. All right, until then. What does Rob say when he says goodbye? Have a better day. That's his way of saying goodbye. I'm just gonna say take care. Hope to see you soon. Bye for now.